Hello and welcome to What the Papers Are Saying, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. What the Papers Are Saying, we bring you the stories behind the headlines as presented by our colleagues within the media space. Welcome back. You're still watching What the Papers Are Saying, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. This week, a number of issues dominated media discussion. You told how some 15 people died on the Volta Lake after a boat accident. And that is how the Daily Graphic newspaper reported it. It says 15 perish in Volta Lake disaster. The Ghanaian Times says VIP donates over 600 life jacket relief items to Krachi West families. City Newsroom says leaking overloaded boat caused Volta Lake tragedy, Krachi West MCA. This week as well, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice announced the discontinuation of the case involving the murder of Ahmed Swale, a member of the Tiger IPI setup. And that is how the Ghanaian Times newspaper reported it. It says court dismisses businessman accused in Ahmed Swale murder trial. Major Online says Ahmed Swale murder court discharges Daniel Cranton following AG's advice. Channel 1 News says Ahmed Swale defense lawyer hails AG's move to discontinue prosecution. This week as well, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice announced that some former directors or some former officials of the National Service Authority will be put before court. And this is how the Daily Guide reported it. It says, Osei Esibe Giftioware charge over National Service Authority theft. City Newsroom says, National Service scandal, Giftioware charged with stealing over 38 million Ghana cedis. There was also an issue this week about the financial clearance from some health officials, especially nurses and midwives. And that is how the Ghanaian Times newspaper reported. It says, relief at last, nurses, midwives to receive 10 months salary arrears, health minister. The new publisher says, minority demand full pay for health workers. The Ghanaian publisher also says, government deceiving nurses, minority. Channel 1 News says, government deceiving health professionals over financial clearance attributed to the minority in Ghana's parliament. And Channel 1 again says, financial clearance, no allocation made, cabinet approval unavoidable acandor. So these are the headlines that dominated media discussions in the course of the week. When I come back from the break, we'll have a conversation about these topics.
This October, Northern Ghana takes center stage. Get ready for the Northern Business Fair 2025, the ultimate one-stop shop for everything made in Ghana in the Savannah, Northern, Northeast, Upper East, and Upper West regions. From hand-woven smokes and intricate crafts to modern manufacturing, innovative packaging of made-in-Ghana products, and thriving homegrown businesses, it's a vibrant celebration of talent, innovation, and authenticity. Brought to you by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 CDFM, it's the biggest trade fair showcasing Kenyan SMEs, startups, research bodies, and indigenous brands making waves across the nation. It's happening on Saturday the 25th and Sunday the 26th of October 2025 at the Tamale Sports Stadium. The time is 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Want to exhibit? Call 0205-973-973 today and book your space. Don't just hear about it, see it, experience it, and live it. The Northern Business Fair, your market, your connections, your growth. The Northern Business Fair 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM and is proudly sponsored by EcoBank, Side Hustle, the Ghana Enterprises Agency, and the Ghana Export Promotion Authority.
This week on Sister Sister, join Chris Carter and her fabulous sisters as they dish out real talk and honest advice to a woman who finds herself stuck between her loving husband and her boss with benefits.
I've been in a romantic relationship with my boss for the past 5 years. Throughout that time, he has taken good care of me, emotionally, physically, and financially. He even extended his generosity to my family, and honestly, I never lacked anything. From the start, we agreed on one thing. Whenever I found the man I truly wanted to marry, I would introduce him and he will respectfully part ways. Sisters, I'm torn. I truly love my husband and I don't want to break his heart. At the same time, I'm afraid of being unemployed. My husband is working, yes, but I'm worried about losing my financial independence. What should I do?
I think that it's not going to help you. So straightforward, I would say, don't do it.
Now, if you are sleeping with your boss, you better make sure that it is a relationship that's going to end in a committed one.
Yes, you love your husband, but you don't respect your husband. Because if you respected your husband, you won't get married to him and still be in the job with your ex.
Tune in this Friday at 9 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV. Sister Sister, real stories, real women, real talk. Sister Sister is proudly sponsored by Gino. Gino truly cares.
You're welcome back. You're still watching What the Papers Are Saying. Coming to you live from our studio here, Accra. I introduce my guest and then we'll start the conversation. Salam Adonu, he's here with us at City FM and Channel 1 Television. And Samuel Atames are also here with us at City FM and Channel 1 Television. Today we had news that Mr. Alan Kyerematen, former Minister for Trade and Industry under the Akufo-Addo administration and also served in the same position under the John Kufuor administration, has decided to form a political party. If you're aware, in the 2024 election, he ran as an independent candidate on the ticket of the Movement for Change. But this time around, he said he's formed a political party known as the UP to run the elections of 2028. He says they're going to transform Ghana if given opportunity by Ghanaians and then be the third force in Ghana's politics. We'll start with the formation of this political party by Mr. Alan Kyerematen and his people. Salam, surprised to hear Alan has formed a political party now?
Well, I think that was the idea, but I think because they could not put their acts together properly in time, they formed a movement, and now they've transitioned into a political party. I don't understand. Of course, political parties are formed to shape political views and eventually win power, but I don't get where they want to go with this. Because even at the press conference today, I heard Sadiq Abubakar, who is chairman of the party, perhaps was responding to a question about whether they'll go back to the NPP or not. Yeah. But I fail to see the base they have. I fail to see how they'll make any dent in the elections. I fail to see how, in the lifetime of Alan Kyerematen, of course, I'm not a prophet, I'm not God, how he will transition or he will become the president of Ghana, which was what he's always wanted. What he succeeds in doing is to get himself onto the ballot paper, which is fine, and also perhaps help enrich the discussion. He has quite some nice guys. Lawyer Andrew Dankwa, very solid guy. Yeah. He has Boabia Samoa, another very good guy, and Ohininto, quite experienced, and a few others, even Sadiq himself. So these are quite some good people around him. I think what they should be trying to do now should be to refocus the discussion, shape the discussion, rather than seriously wanting to be president. Of course, that's what they will tell the people, but when they go into the closet, I'm sure they will have other ideas. So yes, it's good addition, it deepens democracy, but they should focus really on shaping political opinion more than trying to win an election. The names I've mentioned are very good names, and they have quite a lot of respect. If they're able to do things well, maybe in the next 2-3 elections, they can begin seeing some gains It's not easy to move away from a mother party in Ghana, for example, and expect to make sudden impact. It's not really been successful. We've seen the UGMs, Rekubrobe and Co. They've not done well. And the experience, in my view, is when you leave a party out of acrimony in our Ghanaian recent political history, perhaps apart from Kwame Nkrumah, so recent political history, it's not really been well. We saw the NDP, we saw the DFP, and all of those parties which left their mother parties because of acrimony. There was acrimony, there was fight, there were disagreements. They've not really turned out well. Perhaps that is our story. In Nigeria and other places, Kenya, the story may be different. But in our case, I'm yet to see in our fourth Republican Constitution a party that has left its mother party, formed a new party, and made any serious inroads. The Reform, for example, party also did not do well. They are back to the NDC, and Guzitano is leading the 24-hour economy secretariat and all of that. So yes, it's a good thing, but I fail to see how they make it to their presidency. If it is to shape political opinion, enrich the discussion, I'm all for it.
All right, they can be the third force as they want to become.
What, they said they wanted to be third force? No, they can't. No, they cannot be the third
an option
force.
to both the NPP and the NDC. So we
they can be another party. They can't be a third force. It's not going to happen in another decade or two. It's not happening. It's not happening. They have what it takes to form a political party, and indeed they have formed a political party. But political parties are not don't just gain traction because you change your name. It's the process, and which is beautiful. But and being a force is not what you wish for yourself. It's a sum total of your decisions, activities, and engagement that will steer your ship towards building a wide footprint, and a footprint that can generate traction. That's where you become a force. I mean, from what I heard them say, I felt a bit disappointed when what was the chairman's name? Sadiq turned the guns on MPP. I mean, you are setting a new agenda. What I would have wanted to see was for them to tell us what they have come to do, how the if you like, the uniqueness of their new mission, and then call on people to join. So this thing about MPP, they should, who are they calling us to come to? I don't know, it wasn't necessary. Okay, that's one. Now, secondly, it will be important that they leverage on the personality of the leader. That's Alan Chemating. But they cannot put all their eggs in that basket. They also need to use the opportunity to reach out to the youth, because that's where the whole party, if you like, how to populate your party, that's where it can favor you. This UP thing with a subtle attempt to, if you like, waylay the UP tradition, and they call it UP plus. I mean, it's somebody's thinking process, which is fine, but just know that anybody maybe 40 years and below knows nothing about the so-called UP. I mean, I'm 50 plus. I don't know what UP is about. So if the whole idea is to try and hoodwink the people and get UP, no. It would take hard work. And in Africa, it takes a lot of money and a lot of money, So it's good that they have ventured into, forming a political party, but they must understand that it's a long-haul battle. It's not the type that because you're angry with somebody and you express your anger, then suddenly somebody will come and join you. No. Now people are looking for solutions. And when you talk, people have better processing capabilities to judge what you are saying. We are not living in 20, 30 years ago. because the channels of information dissemination are wide open. So when you are lying, they know you are lying. They may not tell you, but they know you are lying. And if you are doing concerts, they may not laugh at you when you are there. When you are gone, then they will laugh. So it's okay.
You follow politics in Ghana for a while. You ever think there can be a party that can put away both the MPP and the NDC? Would it ever be?
No, it's not impossible. Okay, it's not impossible, because when people get disillusioned to a point, there can be that kind of a tilt, because it's happening in the UK today. The Reform Party is now calling the shots, so it's not impossible. But what I'm saying is that it takes a certain degree of traction that is garnered over time with solid decision making and leadership, as we've seen in the UK over the last 15 years or so. You understand? So it's not I'm angry with this person, so suddenly I become a force. You don't become a force because you're angry, or because I'm disappointed, or because I resigned. No. Resignation, yes. Forming new party, yes. But there are the basic items that you need to put together in order to make yourself attractive. Secondly, put it together to build the base of your party. And there are ethnic, regional considerations. There are, all sorts of things. I want to believe that they've considered all these things. But if indeed they have considered, then they should know that it's for the long haul.
So, final bite on this?
Well, so the name, UPP,
UP plus.
UP plus.
Oh, yeah. But plus is P.
Oh. No, but it has to be stylish.
Okay, so UP plus.
Yeah, UP plus.
UPP.
Yeah, they have to turn yourself like that.
So UP.
Yeah, UP
like
plus.
a Palu's party. No. I mean, the name UP, when I read it, I thought they would, because UP, it means obviously you are trying to tilt towards a certain, part of the spectrum. I thought they would, well, maybe they must have an ideology. So their ideology is the kind of ideology the MPP adopts or uses. So, well, I can understand, but I thought they would try to be original. Like someone says, I mean, not everybody will remember UP. I mean, that was many, many years ago. I thought they would use something different that will make them stand out and, harvest a lot of the young people, etc., sell them something great. And I even thought that the press conference could have been more targeted, or to tell us really, really what it is about. Of course, I didn't listen to the entire press conference. But as it is, of course, media will just take a part of it and run with. So you should be careful to answer questions a certain way. Perhaps the things that will make the news were not even scripted. But that is why you need a certain tact to be able to find your way around questions that may want to take the wind out of your sail. Of course, the question about MPP, I'm sure, was going to come anyway. And so they should have thought about it. And I thought the answer they gave was an answer of a wounded person. And I'm not sure that is the way you want to go. A lot of the young people and others you want to recruit are not, they don't care. The young people, they don't care about this MPP. They will just do what they want to do. They don't care. they don't just care. So, I mean, we wish them well. We hope that they're able to influence political thoughts of people. Alan is a good material.
Because next week we want to form a party.
What will be the name?
Central Progress Party. CPP. Thank you very much.
What I think I say, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra, away from Alan Martin. This week as well, the Minister of Health announced that the government has secured, some clearance to pay over 13,500 health workers, especially nurses and midwives, who went on demonstration not too long ago. He says that there's money, government is going to pay them starting November, which is next month. Moments after that, the minority in Ghana's parliament also held a press conference. It says that it is just a political talk because the money was already available. The previous administration had made provisions for it, and that for the minister in government to come out and say they are going to pay them is just for political reasons.
The announcement marks a significant turning point after weeks of growing agitation within the health sector, including a protest by the coalition of unpaid nurses and midwives and threats of strike action from junior doctors, all demanding payment of their delayed salaries. Although earlier assurances were given by Deputy Finance Minister Thomas Ampemnyako and Health Minister Kwabena Minta Akando, affected workers expressed frustration over delays, describing the situation as unbearable. Speaking to journalists in Accra, the Health Minister confirmed that government will begin disbursing all outstanding arrears in November, following formal approval from both Cabinet and the Finance Ministry.
About 6,500. That will add up to the 7,000 already being paid, making 13,500. That allowance, that's over 6,000. Cabinet has approved that with immediate effect, starting from November, the Minister for Finance must pay them. And I have in my hand the letter to that effect. And so these were the difficulties. I empathize with anybody who had to go through this painful situation. But it is important for Ghanaians to be taken along.
The convener of the coalition of unpaid nurses and midwives welcomed the announcement, but called for strict monitoring to ensure that the payments are made without further delays.
We are really happy and excited for the swift response from the ministry, and we would say we are happy with the response, and we are hoping to start receiving our salaries from November. So we thank the ministry for the response to our plea. And with regards to our arrears, the minister made it known that the plans for payment is going to be made clear to us as time progresses. That's where we are a bit skeptical, but we have confidence in the ministry that the plans they will lay for the arrears to be paid is something that will be in our favor. So in all, we would say we are happy with the response from the ministry.
In a related development, the health minister also revealed that government dialysis subsidy will be extended to private health facilities, ensuring broader access to affordable kidney nationwide.
The current arrangement for payment of dialysis is that if you go to public health facilities, we have
in normal public administration and civil service of this country, financial clearances expire. Even under this government, they will have financial clearances expire and they will go for extension. It is a normal practice in the system. It's no news, but you could only use it when you go for an extension for the Ministry of Finance. So why didn't government see the need? Money was allocated for 15,000. You came in 7,000 or almost 8,000 had started. The remaining were employed by Ghana Health Service, albeit they were late, but they were at post. You didn't see the need to tell the institutions to reject them. Neither did the institutions write to you to reject them. What it meant was that they filled the gap and they were needed to be at post. So the institution used them, except for political reasons. They did not extend this for political reasons. And then 10 months down, they faced an embarrassment where the students or the staff went on a public agitation, demonstration, to draw your mind to this clearance and the need for extension. Embarrassing enough, you are saying that you've taken it to cabinet for an approval. What sort of cabinet do you have to take for an approval when you have a clearance already? You're throwing dust in the eyes of the people. So government created a mess. And they've seen 10 months, it's caught up on them, and they are fixing it.
Dr. Sammi Wiafe is the ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament. Earlier, you heard the Health Minister, Kwabena Minta Akando. So last week when we sat here, we were worried about why they've not been paid for 10 months. Now, government says that they're going to start paying. Good news?
Of course
it's good news. But
it is good news, yes.
But the issues the minority is raising for political reasons.
Well, I mean, look, the minority may know a lot more than we do. So, if for whatever they know, they think is sheer politics, so be it. But I read the lips of the minister, and you can see that the man is talking from his heart. Yeah. You know, and I don't have any reason to doubt him. The minister has done well by responding. You understand? Now, he says that, according to the letter, the workers are supposed to start taking their salaries beginning November. Yeah. Now, that doesn't resolve the issue of the outstanding 13 or so months, okay? I think we can resolve this easily. And the most important thing, and I like that, the most important thing is let's start paying them from hence. Let's go on. And then while we start paying them, we resolve the outstanding. I think it's clear and straight to the point. And I say that I commend the minister and his efforts. Okay, the minority may know, as I say, may know things that I don't know. But I am very appreciative of the fact that he has made strenuous efforts to look. The other time we had a certain health minister before Okoboy. I never on one occasion heard the man respond to anything. The minister before Okoboy, I never heard him once respond to any of these agitations. Okoboy came and lifted it to another level, very spirited, action-oriented, and we are seeing similar traits in this new health minister, Minta Kando. So we need to commend him because, look, not paying people for 13 months is criminal. So, yes, start paying them while we resolve the issue. Yes, what Wiafe is saying, indeed, is true because he has the letter to the effect that they were granted the clearance, okay? But, you know, granting clearance is a document. But what if the clearance is granted but the money is not there? You understand? So let's find the money, pay them what is supposed to be paid, and let's move on with our lives. I think that's basically what it is. But I commend the minister for the effort.
Hello.
Yes, I mean, kudos to Minta Kando, and I also empathize with the nurses. We like nurses, and we like teachers as well. Similar thing is happening on the teachers' front. So there's also been a statement issued that they are also going to be receiving their salaries from November. So I think it's something they've done together, health, education. Yes, so to Wiafe's point about a letter, yes, I also saw a letter from Abna Osei Asari saying that clearance had been given and that payment should not be before September and that it expires on 31st December. I'm sure it's the same letter I was referring to. So why then didn't they pay them for September, October, November, December? You know, and when they were doing the appropriation for the first quarter of the new year, because we had an election, did they factor in the salaries of those people? I think these are questions they need to tell us. If indeed they factored in the salaries of these new nurses and teachers, the first quarter appropriation the government does before the new government takes over, that first 3 months thing, did they factor in these salaries? If they factored that in, then where is that money? I spoke to somebody close to the situation, and I said, no, why is this happening? That's because there's no money. And now they are looking for the money to pay the people. So if, like someone says, clearance is just a paper, was money, I mean, was it supported by money? And my question is, if it was supported by money, you should have paid them in September, you should have paid them in October, November, December. And you should have also made arrangements in the appropriation for the first quarter for them, because I think the budget was read around November. So they would have been paid till November, that you know they exist, so that it will affect the first quarter appropriation. Was it done? We don't know, but we don't think so given the facts. So I think, so they are both playing, I mean, the Wiafe perhaps is playing more politics. You know? I think what is important is that the people have worked for 10 months and over. They have not been paid. Now there's some progress. And I cannot understand why it keeps happening. We have to find a way of ensuring that when we employ them, we start paying them. Maximum 2 months, they start getting paid. Why on earth would you let somebody work for 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, and it's normal that they will not be paid? They have to hit the streets, demonstrate, say all kinds of things before you come and pay them. I don't think it's been happening every time and every year, and we've become used to it, so we know it is the norm. In fact, the nurses and the teachers even expect it because they've conditioned their minds that, when we start first 6 months, 8 months, they won't pay us, but the money will come. Then we can defray all the monies we want to take from people. I think we can do better. It's not the way to go. 21st century, employ young people who haven't worked before. They leave their parents to go to new stations, and 10 months. No, it's crazy. It's not correct.
Let's watch what the papers are saying. Coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we have more.
This November, something amazing is coming to Accra. Are you a farmer with fresh produce? Are you into fish farming, poultry or livestock? Then get ready for the November edition of the AgriFair 2025. Yes, AgriFair 2025. It's happening on Friday the 28th to Sunday the 30th of November. It's happening at the A4 Sutherland Children's Park, and it's 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. It's the ultimate weekend marketplace. From fruits and vegetables to poultry, livestock and fish to agri-inputs and processing machinery. All at unbeatable farm gate prices. Whether you're selling or buying, this is your chance to connect, trade and grow. Enjoy the freshest farm produce, sizzling kebabs, and a vibrant marketplace atmosphere all in one space. Register now and secure your spot. Call 0558-973-973 for more information. AgriFair 2025, where culture meets innovation. The AgriFair 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM.
Yeah, welcome back. You're still watching what the papers are saying, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. This week, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice announced that they are beginning prosecution of former officials of the National Service Authority, i.e. Gifty Owari Mensah and SCB Entry. They were key officials at the National Service Authority. In the oral process, their names came up for some reasons. Now, the AG said they are starting prosecution, and they've charged them with a number of them. For instance, the AG says they are charging them with money laundering, stealing, and causing financial loss to the state. Salam, this is your field. I'll start with you.
So this is accountability. When you get into public office, you should expect that after you leave, or even in fact whilst you are there, you'll be accountable. And if it doesn't happen while you are there, when there's a change of guard, you can expect that people will dig under you and find out things. I think it's part of the normal process that when you serve, you must be accountable. Yeah. And that's what's happening. National service and its issues. I mean, for some time now, we've been hearing about ghost names, and we just finished with a story about emoluments and people not being paid. As Sammi said last week, Ghana is the only country where human beings work, you don't get paid, and ghosts are paid and overpaid. So, I mean, it's a system. It's a system. They say they are digitized, they are doing this, but it's a system. They find a way of getting names into the system, and they harvest that money by whatever means, and they spend the money, and it shows in their lifestyle. It's because in Ghana, lifestyle audits and things are not, we don't do them. So somebody wearing a watch of 100,000 USD, for example, what's the point? In wearing 100,000 USD watch, we knew you before you came to public office. All of a sudden you're wearing this expensive watch. What's the point? And sometimes some of them don't even think or read the room properly. We knew you. You were not, all of a sudden, you are wearing this. If we are to trace it, can you account for it? You know, so those things give them out. So, yes, oral was one of the flagships or the major planks of the NDC campaign, Operation Recover All Loot. Indeed, when the NDC won power, Mahama set up the preparatory team led by Okujoto Ablakwa with Domolevo, Pebu and co in there. This was one of the things they came up with. And, you know, as you have it, now Iyoko and co have finished investigations. The Attorney General believes in the docket built for him, and he thinks that he can go to court and secure conviction. And so the courts were on vacation, courts resumed as they promised. They have gone to file. So we await to see how the process starts. So they will go to court, their charges will be read to them, their plea will be taken. Obviously, I'm sure they're going to plead not guilty. They will have to be granted to, admitted to bail if the court is minded to do so, which I think the court will do. But these days, it's the bail conditions that are issues. You can give a bail condition of 20 million. I mean, how are you going to get that? You know, so that will happen. The prosecution will serve the disclosures, and prosecution will now start its case. In the end, if the prosecution is able to make a case, the court will then ask the defendants, or the accused in this case, to open their defense, and then after that, the court will evaluate the evidence, and the court will make a pronunciation. I think it's important to know that when you are in public office, you are in there to serve the people. Yeah. Like I've always said, the process is good, the process must continue, but the process just has to be fair. Let the people have their day in court. The prosecutors or the state or the republic must also do its work, because we cannot live in a country where people live anyhow, spend state money anyhow, misuse or abuse state money anyhow, and there's no accountability, or the judicial system is shoddy. They are not able to get to the bottom of matters. If they've done the wrong thing, let the law work. If they've not done if what they've done was not wrong, let the law show it. Let them be vindicated. That is what I call for. It should be fair. But if they are found to have done the things that are being alleged, the law should deal with them. Because a system that does not encourage accountability is a doomed system. It becomes a chaotic system. Nobody does the right thing because nobody cares. But if we start doing that, jailing people, punishing them, sanctioning them, etc., next time people will think twice. That is how we build a proper society. And that has been missing for quite some time. And I hope that these things will breathe, more life and accountability into our system, so that our public officers and servants will know that they are working for the people and not for themselves.
That means we heard of, the National Service scandal, but were you surprised to see the figures as announced by the Attorney General?
Oh, obviously surprising to see those figures. It's unfortunate, but I mean, if what we are being told is what the situation is, then they didn't try. No, they didn't try. If what we are being told is what it is, then that was something else. I mean, for us, of course, Giftio Mensah, I know personally. I don't know the other, the boss. I don't know him. But be that as it may, we are building a nation, and such conducts, they are not necessary. I don't know. I'm struggling to find the words for this, because you can't be proud of a thing like this. Your children will not be proud of a thing like this. Even your political party itself cannot be proud of a thing like this. And I'm saying that if it's found to be true, that's all I'm saying, because even the court itself is not sure, so it has to go through the whole process. And so for now, we are only commenting on the news that is in the public domain. And I'm saying that if it's true, then it's unfortunate. But whatever it is, they deserve a fair hearing, and the court must do its work. The court must do its work. And it shouldn't be just national service alone.
everywhere.
It should go everywhere so that when you are appointed into public service and you are taking decisions, you know the full scope and repercussions of the decisions you make. It has to, you see, this has to be made public so that every political appointee, government appointee, would have a good understanding of what they are exposed to when they are taking decisions or when they are conducting themselves in a particular way. I mean, if Jawari is not an old woman, she's a young woman, okay? She still has a long space of life ahead of her, okay? And that's why I find it unfortunate if indeed she really did what is being said she did. I mean, I hope she didn't do it. I hope she didn't do it. Because I don't know how she's going to live her life after a situation like this.
So the fear for many too, which I've heard a lot of people say, that such cases will drag. It will drag for a number of years. There will be a change of government, and the case will become a quote foolish case and those things.
Well, yes, we've seen such things happen in this country, but for whatever it's worth, it has to be done in a way that as a country we can send the right signals that there are no-go areas regarding how you conduct yourself as a public officer or an appointee. If people think that they have to drag it and all that is their own matter, but just know that the more we move in that direction, the more we encourage more people to dare the system by also attempting to do similar things.
So let's still stay with the court and still stay with the Attorney General. This week, the AG announced the discontinuity of the case involving Ameswali. There was a prime suspect or an accused person who was standing trial. We told that the Medina court decided to discontinue the case from a directive from the Attorney General.
Yes.
The family is not happy.
Yes, of
we
course.
spoke to some family members who are not really happy.
Before that, a quick one on this one. The allegation that 60,000 ghost names were being paid. 60,000. These nurses and teachers crying, about 15,000 of them. And national service people, some of them are in villages, they don't, their money, 60,000 of them. I mean, it's not correct. Ahmed Swale, yes, the Ahmed Swale incident, or the Daniel Cranton guys discharge from the court came to me as a surprise, really. I was surprised because I thought the prosecution or the Republic had some strong evidence to nail him. But as it stands, it does appear that they did not have, or they do not have a lot on him to be able to nail him. And for such a high-profile case, or for the Attorney General to discontinue such a high-profile case, when indeed they had promised in their manifesto to get to the bottom of the Ahmed Swallow case, I think I do not take it for granted. I want to think that they have something up their sleeves, because it's too sharp and too drastic for me that such a high-profile case, will be discontinued in such a manner when indeed a major campaign promise you had was to, deal with that matter. What can happen, or what, of course, we have discontinuance or discontinuing a case, and we have acquitting, discharging, which is discontinuance, and acquittal, so you discharge somebody and then you acquit somebody. They are not the same. Acquitting somebody means that you cannot bring back the person. If you discharge the person, you can bring back the person. So 5, 10, 20 years' time, they could say, no, we now have found evidence which suggests that indeed you did it. So even though the court discharged you, or we caused the court to discharge you, you can be arrested and you can come. But there's no expiry date for crimes. Criminal matters, there are no expiry dates. So that's fine. I'm also thinking that they think the gentleman did nothing really. My recollection of the facts is that this gentleman was brought in because he allegedly leaked or sent pictures of Ahmed Swale to to Kennedy, Japan, and he put it on the screen of his television station, and then weeks later or days later, this gentleman was shot and killed in his vicinity. So because there was some conversation between them in respect of this, they felt that he was a person of interest, a suspect, an accused person, and we all followed it that way. Yeah. And if you look at this case itself, I recall one time doing eyewitness. Sandra was doing an eyewitness, spoke to a guy. After that, somebody called me back. A person I know said, the guy they are talking to is my brother. The guy you are referring to is my brother. He's not done anything wrong. And truth be told, 2 days later, the police said that he had released or discharged that guy because he didn't discharge him. So there's a lot happening around this case, and it's a pity that something that happened in the full glare of the public, we are unable to put our finger on anybody. And the life of a young person, promising person, is just been cut short like that. His family, everybody, no remedy, no justice. It's not good. But I strongly believe that the Attorney General and his people should have something up their sleeves. Discontinuing this matter in this way is too drastic for me. What also it says is that it is better to let 1,000 criminals go than to convict an innocent person. That's what we say. So that if 1,000 criminals, or if one person is innocent and you jail him or you punish him, is worse than letting 1,000 criminals go. That's how much the innocence of a person is protected. That's why we even say that you are innocent until proven guilty. The innocence is very important. We treat everybody as innocent until proven guilty. Of course, it's a waste of judicial resources and time, but you will never understand or see the full impact of it until you are the guy there. So imagine that you know him or he's your brother or he's somebody, he's not done anything, but the state has come up against you. The state is such a powerful force. If the state comes up against you, sometimes there's very little, in fact, usually there's very little you can do. So the state comes up against you with all this machinery, everything. So you have done it. The whole country is upon you. I mean, there's very little you can do. And now the same state is saying that, we don't think you are the guy, so you are discharged. It's such a relief if indeed that is the case. So let's give every side the benefit of the doubt. Let's not be too prejudicial in the case of the gentleman, because it could be anybody. If indeed he is not guilty and he was being held, then that is unfortunate. So let's see how things go. But I strongly believe that this matter should not die. This matter should be relooked at, and the perpetrators of Swale arrested properly and dealt with. The family is awaiting justice, and we can't leave them hanging. We cannot disappoint them.
I think we are witnessing something very interesting. And as Salom was saying, I just hope that very soon we will be updated on the real efforts that they are putting in to resolve this Ahmed Swale issue. If my memory serves me correctly, it actually confuses me with the JB Dankwa situation.
JB Dankwa is sexy don don.
Yeah, it's along the same lines.
It's still like that.
It's just there.
That's like 10 years. Yeah. 9 or 10 years.
Yeah. So I think they should do something better to restore confidence in the process. Because when people feel that it's not a transparent process, it takes something away from the judicial process. So whatever it's worth, you have brought in one announcement of discontinuation. We are hoping that beyond the discontinuation, they come up with something that is aimed at finding the real culprits involved in this murder.
Because I think you were going to court where people, the thing we see on CNN and co. They, like court setting, they'll draw it on paper.
Yeah.
You know,
they have a sketch of their person. But,
so did the guys
that was complaint of the family that they have a sketch.
Yeah, so
the
did the guys
they have a sketch of the person
look like the guy they arrested? I mean, we need more answers. We need more answers.
The family has announced that they will hold a press conference to state their official position on this matter. This week as well, there was some disaster on the Volta Lake. Some 15 people died.
16 actually.
It's conflicting. There are people who are saying 15.
I thought yesterday you hosted them.
The regional minister says 16 people, okay. But then the maritime authority are also given a different figure because they have gone there to do investigation. And then the vice president of the republic went to the families who've lost, relatives in this accident, and donated some life jackets. And this life jacket, the regional minister says they've had a number of them, but yet the people don't wear it. They refuse to wear it for different reasons. But then the vice president says they should continue wearing it, or they should wear it, and government will give them the needed support that they want.
In a gesture of compassion and national solidarity, Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman visited residents of the Okuma Enclave to sympathize with families and survivors of the recent Volta Lake boat disaster. The tragic accident reportedly occurred when a passenger boat traveling from Okuma to Bovene capsized, leading to the loss of several lives, including children. During her visit, the Vice President urged collective action to prevent future occurrences of such incidents.
Asama yebeti no anya enye ya asam de na emom na esi ebisa en ho say anamon ba na yebetu itina say yeba na yebehwe say baby asam na esi no kura e wo hemfa enye da na yebaba say ene na ye campaign na de enwom na asa na ade eno mre wo ho na emom wo ye no wi a nipa na wo no omo ekekere man no soso no oha ben no omwom amane ben na aba nti ebaya we de ntoma bebo mo de ano na enyina ya bebom na ya cheche ye ho ehwere de esese ye nso ye ene se oha ben na wo na kwan mu ena ekwan ben na ebefa so asa oha no ye beyiyi efiri ho nti ebesere mo eno ye betimi aye na ebedi mu no na jesama kan ye ho.
She also appealed to all travelers using the Volta Lake to always wear life jackets, emphasizing the importance of safety measures to minimize risks.
Yebesre pa yepamucho. Yenshe na ewo kwan a ebo nipa ho ban. Enti said am sesa kan ya no say ensuo no so no ya different kinds of transportation. Enti nka wa mo ye trotro enam yo bobo ya ne ade wonsu no so no ko bi betene mu a na ya hwe se ohye bi.
The Vice President, Professor Jane Nana Opoku, and went to visit the families in Ketikrachi who lost relatives in that boat disaster on the Volta Lake. I spoke to the OT regional minister on Eyewitness News, and he's frustrated. He says the people there refuse to wear the life jackets. They just refuse to wear it.
Wow. Well, I think it's not an isolated case. Most of these communities where you have these informal types of water transportation, the people refuse to wear the jackets. They all refuse to wear the jackets. They just take it for granted that once they sit on the canoe is taking them to the next level. And the kind of the type of water, rivers and lakes that they have there, they are very wide. I mean, wide. And so in between, anything at all can happen, as we've seen. But I think that, of course, the Vice President had to show empathy and drove all the way to the place. Kudos to her. But giving them the life jackets will still not solve the problem. It won't solve the problem. We need to formalize. We need to start formalizing the water transport, pockets of water transport operations in this country. Not until we formalize them, there's a structure to it. Anybody at all builds a canoe and puts it on the water and becomes a captain of the boat. You understand? With no training, with no safety considerations, and they put people's families on it and go and dump them in the water. So just giving them the whatever safety whatever jackets will not solve any problem. Indeed, they won't even wear. They will wear and take pictures with you, but when you go, they'll throw it away. Or when they wear and it gets dirty, they'll tell you they don't have soap to wash the thing. Not until we formalize the whole operations of water transport in this country, then we can have safety requirements, which will now be insisted upon by the operators. You get what I'm saying? So, yes, this is, I call it a first aid, but madam, they will throw that thing away. Let's get people who want to do the canoe transport, train them, give them lessons on safety, and monitor. You understand? Because we can't stop them from using the canoes. But if we meet them halfway, training them, having safety requirements, monitoring, coordinating, that's where to start from. So, yes, thank you for giving them the jacket, but I won't solve the problem.
Very sad, tragic incident. About 15 people losing their lives, and 11 of them being kids. I mean, and one of the reports I read said the kids were clinging to their parents, but their parents could not help them because they were also, you know, struggling to survive. And it's such a heart-wrenching story that we do not have to let these things be happening. And as it is in Ghana, I mean, things happen, we all want to do it, and after a few weeks or days, go to sleep, and it happens again, and it happens again. So I think it's terrible. I think, is it the Maritime Authority or some people said the incident could be down to 3 main things. Investigations so far pointing to the fact that the canoe or the boat was overloaded. Should have taken about 15 people, but went into the journey with over 20 people. That clearly is a problem, you know. The canoe itself was not fit for purpose because they said it was leaking. And the third one being that the people did not wear life jackets. So all these 3 are worrying things, you know, to happen on the water. And if you see the water, of course, even before that, you know, it's their community, that's how they live. So anywhere they want to go, they have to use a canoe. So they don't see anything wrong with it. When you are on the canoe or on the water body for the first time and you are all over the place, you know, training tons and things. I mean, that's their life. That's how they go to school and come back, go to market. So they've become, and nothing happens to them really. So if you are not telling them to wear life jackets, it's a burden. The life jackets will be in there. It will get wet, it will be smelling, and I'm dressed well. They could get down without being wet. And I wear life jackets to be wet. So there's a bit of disincentive around that. I mean, they have to educate them and educate them and enforce it. If you know, because you can't be begging them. Like somebody says, let's formalize it, the water transport system. Let's train them. But the guy who was riding the canoe was 11 years old. You know, 11-year-old carrying a lot of people. And now here we are. They are all dead. You know, breadwinners, family people, all of them dead, kids, etc. Let's train them properly. Yes, they have some experience. Let's train them properly. Let's show them what the safety measures are. And let's insist on the safety measures. Let's enforce them. If they fail to do it, let them suffer the consequences. You know, we don't have to, and they load themselves on the thing. When you see them far off in the middle somewhere, they load themselves and they are happy. They will arrive safely, nothing will happen. You know, we can't normalize this.
Okay.
And it's not the only place.
Point of correction. You said that the boat was leaking, so it wasn't fit for purpose. They don't think so. Okay. In fact, I'm telling you, about 70 to 80% of those canoes are leaking.
That's terrible. They shouldn't be on the water body.
I'm telling you on authority, they are leaking. And you know what they do? They have bowls in the canoes. And then it's somebody's job to be collecting the water and throwing away while they can. Yes. The people there, somebody is collecting and throwing away. And it's normal for them. It's so unfortunate that we've lost lives as a result of this kind of recklessness But trust me, this is not the end of the story.
We'll go to sleep.
It's not the end of the story. As I speak now, tomorrow, go there and see. Same thing happening. You know, it's like, as for Ghana, it's like when we want to instill discipline, those in government, they don't want anything that will make them unpopular. They allow them to do it. We build huge edifices. People will go and dirty there, throw baller there, and oh no, we don't want to. And then, oh, Charlie, it's getting draining now. Let's build our country.
Well, that's Samuel Atamensa, and he's Salomado. My name is Sammi Wiafe. We brought you another exciting edition of the What the Papers Are Saying that came to you live from our studio here in Accra. So we'll come your way again next week. May the good Lord be with us all.